Lebesgue differentiation theorem helps in realizing the standard theorem that we see in Riemann integral, the fundamental theorem, which connects the differentiation and integration. We know that in continuous functions, the value of the continuous function at a point in a small interval around that point will not differ much. One can ask the same question for measurable functions. This result establishes the average of these differences on small intervals is very small almost everywhere. Let's make the statement. Suppose f belongs to L1 of R, then consider at a point B, I look at f of x minus f of b, that's the difference, and I look at the average value of this function. Then this is 0. This is in the sense of almost everywhere. The strategy of the proof is the following. We know any measurable function can be approximated by a continuous function, and hence to find out or estimate this integral, we will add and subtract the continuous function as follows. You add and subtract the continuous function that approximates the original measurable function. Notice the fact, this one we can estimate by the continuous version that we have discussed. Since we know every measurable function can be approximated by a continuous function, in fact, we can approximate a continuous function with compact support. For every epsilon positive, we can find out a continuous function h continuous such that the difference of this is less than epsilon. Equivalently, consider the set Bk defined by all those real numbers such that the value of f at b and the hk of b which is less than or equal to 1 by k, and the Hardy-Littlewood maximal function corresponding to this, that is f minus hk of star at b. This value is less than or equal to 1 by k. Note that the bk is defined in terms of an and condition on f minus hk and the Hardy-Littlewood maximal function of f minus hk, and hence if I consider the complement of bk's, they will violate at least one of this inequality, that is bk complement, which is r minus bk, is given by two sets. It's going to be union of two sets. One is union all those elements in R such that note that the first one we will estimate by Markov's inequality. By Markov's inequality, the Lebesgue measure of this. Now the second set by Hardy-Littlewood inequality, the measure of the second set is less than or equal to 3k times the norm of f minus hk. Hence, by these, the measure of this set r minus bk is less than or equal to 4k times, let b be the intersection of all the bk's that we have defined. Now the measure of Lebesgue measure, of course. This is going to be the Lebesgue measure of, for which we already have an estimate. If we choose appropriate estimate, we may be able to make sure that this series converges. Now let's fix a b in b and t positive and calculate the following. It is integration of f minus f at b with respect to the Lebesgue measure between the interval b minus 2 to b plus. As we have planned, let us add and subtract the continuous function. And by the standard inequality, we get this as now let's try to estimate each of these three parts. Observe the first one is in the form of Hardy-Littlewood maximal functions definition. If I consider the supreme of these numbers, that is what the f minus hk star, and hence this is less than or equal to f minus hk star at b. Now look at the last term. Here both of them are just constant functions, so I can push it out, and what remains is the integration of from b minus t to b plus 2 and divide by the length, so you get into 1. As we have already observed, the middle term can be made small as hk is continuous, and since hk is continuous, this average value goes to 0. Small b is coming from capital B. This will be less than or equal to 1 by k, and this will also be less than or equal to 1 by k. Now this middle term can be made less than 1 by k as hk is continuous. This term goes to 0. For all t bigger than 0, sufficiently close to 0, this can be made less than 1 by k. In fact, we are choosing such a k and plugging in, end up with 3 by k, and hence this establishes for b in B the limit of t tending to 0, the average value. This is 0. But remember, this is not what we want. What we need is the following. What we really need is all those points B in R for which this average values limits is not equal to 0 is a set of measure 0. We need to measure of A, this is 0. But look at the set and see what kind of points. It says as all those points where limit is not equal to 0. There are two cases can happen. The limit may not exist or the limit is not equal to 0. Since this expression is a non-negative expression, if the limit exists and if it is not equal to 0, it has to be bigger than or equal to some 1 by k for some natural number k. And hence notice the following. Just now we proved if I take an element in capital B, then the limit exists and is equal to 0, and hence, so if B belongs to B, then the limit exists and it is equal to 0, hence we get B does not belong to A, which proves B is subset of A complement or equivalently now measure of A is same as measure of B complement, which we have already established as now all that remains is choose appropriate norm of this f minus h case, which is in our hand. So this suggests choosing (4k by 2k), and hence we get is less than or equal to epsilon. As epsilon is arbitrary positive number, we prove the required result. The measure of the set A is 0.